Yo, let's do it.
You know that's gonna be on the intro. Yes.
Oh, hello. We're still here.
We're still here. No fear, just here. So, yeah. Do you like wearing a mask every day?
Fuck no.
We can't say the C word while we talk. Let's just try not to. We can't say the C word, but we can talk about the masks.
But let's just talk about like the C word for a second though. So like we can't talk about the C word, but if we don't put it in any of the labels, like who's watching our videos to make sure that we're not talking about the C word? If it doesn't say anything in the intro, doesn't say...
Yeah, I guess as long as we don't like say that it's fake or like crazy shit like that.
Or no, and COVID's not fake. Like it's a real... It's an influenza.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real influenza.
It's a flu.
It's not fake. Is it as serious as everybody says it is? No, like I haven't had any close calls. None of my family members have had a close call. None of my friends. The people that I have heard about having close calls were people that had pre-existing conditions. Including a pre-existing condition of, I'm sorry, but being heavily obese, and when you can physically tell that they do not take care of themselves. So
that's the biggest like comorbidity you can have with COVID.
It's because we're finding out that it actually is really hard on your cardiovascular system, and if you're obese, obviously your cardiovascular system is already under stress. So you add any little thing that's going to stress out your heart. If you already have a stressed out heart, it's not going to go well for you.
And I really want to know if anyone's listening to this that has had COVID. We'd love to talk to you and discuss it. But in our experience, we don't know anybody that's had it that got really, really sick, except for who you're just talking about. I don't know. Like, I worked the entire last year in the public, and for the first like 4 months, I wasn't going anywhere, but at a certain point, everybody was like, okay, it was summer in Canada. That's the only time we can get outside. So I went everywhere, I did everything. And then after a while, you kind of just realize like, okay, this isn't as I don't need to be as afraid of this as people are telling me that I need to be afraid of. So
exactly, And I think like at first we were all went from oh my god and sanitizing all of our groceries before bringing them in the house.
I was doing that 100%. Yeah.
And now I recently have like chosen not to wear a mask anymore. The only places that I will wear a mask are the places that I know I absolutely have to. So if I want to go to the gym, which I mostly try and only go to the actual gym because I have a full gym set up downstairs. I just don't have any cable machines, so I only go to the gym, like work on all the equipment, probably like 1 or 2 times a week. And then other than that, I go to the gym to do my cardio, which is upstairs, and I do the stair climber, and it's kind of secluded. So, I mean, nobody's said anything to me yet, but my mask is like under my chin because I'm not going to put myself at risk of passing out because I'm heavily breathing because that thing ain't fun. Like, stairway to hell on that thing. But other than that, though, like at work, obviously have to wear it because you can't get exemptions anymore. But yeah, other than that, like unless it's like a place, like a
clinic,
clinic or like small locally owned businesses, and that's just out of respect for them as well, because the way I see it too is, and this is actually quite interesting, is how many times did you read that there may have been COVID exposure at big like box stores? Big Never. Corporate stores. No, Never. you seen this person, went to Superstore, this person went to Walmart, this person was at Canadian Tire, but guess what? None of those businesses shut down. But SGI has shut down multiple times here in town. I heard that Delta 9, and I mean, like, it's pretty obvious when a business that never shuts down for anything is all of a sudden shut down. Like, they probably had an outbreak in there. So if I'm going to go into those stores, like, I mean, you got to think of it from an employee point of view, too, that they're just trying to do their job as well. And if they don't enforce the mandate, they could lose their job. People are watching them, and they might not even believe in wearing the mask or believe in COVID, but they still, like, can you imagine losing your job right now?
Oh, God.
And trying to find a new job? Like, it's really stressful. So, like, I have compassion for those people. Like, I don't believe in the masks. I personally don't, but, like, I also comply in certain situations because I understand the bigger picture in these people that are struggling already, and if they get a COVID outbreak, they have small amount of staff in there, and next thing you know, they have to shut the place down because they were all in contact with each other because it's a small environment.
Right.
Like, you kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, so I got kicked out of Delta 9 because I have a mask exemption, and I used to say, like, I would walk into somewhere and somebody would be like, hey, do you have a mask? And I'd be like, actually I have an exemption. Do you want to see it? And they just, like, back down right away because, like, oh,
Yeah. Because you have an exemption.
Yeah, because I have an exemption. And then a few people were like, yeah, I want to see it. And I was like, okay. And, like, showed it to, like, the one liquor store we went to. They were like, you have an exemption? Can we see it? I was like, yeah, of course. Like, all it says on it, like, yeah, it has my health number, my birth date, but, like,
I mean, a quick glance, they're not going to be able to get all that information anyways.
All it says is, please excuse this patient from because she's not able to wear a mask. And that's it.
It doesn't list your reason why. And granted, if someone asks to see your medical exemption, by law, you are not required to show them. But if it doesn't have any pertinent information on there, why is it such a power struggle? Like, why can't you just say, yeah, here it is, and end of discussion, you're done?
I think a lot of people, though, who don't have exemptions say, I have an exemption,
right?
And then they don't want to show it because they don't actually have it. But, like, just make a fake one, y'all. Just make a fake one. But I don't know. I have a real one.
Or maybe if you say you have an exemption and you don't want to show it, or you don't have one to show, then just leave.
Yeah.
If you can't put on a mask.
And so Delta 9 was like, yeah, that's cool that you have an exemption, but, like, you can't be in here. And I was like, oh, all right. So I never will go there again. But, like, I don't know. But again,
they had been shut down, and that's lots of money that they lost.
And I do understand that that's, like, a thing. But at the same time, like, I don't know. I feel like the more we comply, the more we get fucked. So.
And I understand your part when you say that, but with the amount of people that are already vaccinated, we're fucked anyways. So I feel like if they're already at the point where they're getting vaccinated and they're putting out lotteries to get vaccinated now.
In Manitoba.
I mean, all you can do is still make the decision not to get vaccinated if you're not comfortable with it. And I would encourage anybody thinking about getting it or on the fence to really dig deep into the information.
And talk to your doctor. More than anything, talk to your doctor. That's it. We can't really say much more than that.
Yeah.
'Cause we'll get in trouble. Like, you're not allowed to have... You're literally not allowed to have an opposing opinion on this that opposes from your public health official. So you're not even allowed to think differently than your public health official, or you'll get banned. So that's cool. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, the mask thing has been such a point of contention for people. And it's like, if we're not divided by race, we're divided by masks. If we're not divided by masks, we're divided by vax. And if we're not, like, it's just like...
there's a lot of division. And I mean... It's your body, your choice.
Exactly. That's all that should matter. It's your body, your choice. Yeah. If you feel safer with it on, wear it. If you don't want to wear it, don't wear it. That's how it should be. Yeah. If you want to get a needle, get a needle. If you don't want to, that's cool. If you got yours and I didn't get mine, you should be safe from me, right? Right?
Yeah, and I mean, and if you're going to, like, come after someone because they're not wearing a mask, it's like, well, don't come in my bubble then.
Yeah.
Get your 6 feet away from me.
Yeah, don't be breathing down my neck. And like, And like, I don't know. I there's a lot of medical reasons that people can't get the thing, right? Ooh, I always do that. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons people can't get that thing because they have an allergic reaction to the propylene glycol. I was listening to a Clubhouse room today, and people were talking about how many people are allergic to the propylene glycol that is used to make these things, and so a lot of people aren't going to be able to get it, and a lot of people with immune disorders, and a lot of people, like, there's so many reasons that you might not be able to. And the segregation is already starting. Like, did you see that the Foo Fighters are doing a concert? And if you don't, like a grand opening of New York concert, and if you don't have the thing, then you can't go.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
Fuck you, Foo Fighters.
Yeah, I just want to talk quickly about like the lotteries that are happening, and the scholarships that are happening if you get the vaccine. I mean, if you have to entice people in to get the vaccine, like, not cool. And like, why are we spending money on that? Like, can you imagine if you took that millions of dollars and divvied it up among the people that really need the money?
Right?
Like, there's so many people struggling right now that even $500 can make a world of difference for them right now.
Especially in Manitoba. Like, look at how many people have lost their entire livelihoods and businesses. Like, you're going to just do this $1 million lottery for this shit, and you're not going to bail out all your people? Like, yeah, I don't agree in government assistance, like, even at all anyway, because it makes you reliant on the government, and it makes the government your daddy, and I don't think that that's right. But yeah, like, what the fuck? Like, can we please, like, focus on putting our resources where they should fucking go?
Or take that money and, help the children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so,
like, instead of just
so let's get into what we were arguing about yesterday. So we were like contentiously arguing about this situation because but mostly because it's very personal to me because of my mask exemption. Mm-hmm. And so I take it very personally. And I happen to know the woman that this happened to.
Mm-hmm. And it seems to kind of be happening more and more. So
yeah, tell the story.
So from what I gather, is a lady went into the Lloydminster pool. A lady confronted her about not wearing a mask. Not sure how that altercation went. Not sure how they were speaking to each other. Mm-hmm. She went in with her son, started doing the swimming lesson, and then what she thinks is the manager came and talked to her about it, and it sounded like she got defensive right away, which I understand. But also that lady's just trying to do her job. Mm-hmm. And if she has people coming at her about it, I mean, she has to follow up with it. So in the lobby, you're supposed to wear a mask. In the pool area, if you're in the pool, water, doing swimming lessons, you don't have to wear a mask. So the manager lady leaves. All of a sudden, the lady sees the cops come in. So she takes her son, doesn't go to the change room. They just go into the lobby and they approach her and start talking to her, and she asked them to take it outside because she didn't want her young son to like have to listen to it. Yeah, she wanted to put him in the car and watch the DVD. And then basically, from there, it's unclear. There's so many versions of this story. Yeah. But essentially, like, my thing with it is like, if a representative of the Canadian government comes to you and asks for your ID, like, why? If you're telling them to just write you the ticket, they need your ID to write you a ticket. Mm-hmm. Why is it such a big thing? Like, why are you trying to hide your identity?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, she was told to wear the mask, and then they were telling her, like, okay, well, she said something like, whatever, you can write me a ticket. And then they were like, okay, well, we need your ID. And she was like, no. And then, like, that part doesn't really make sense. Like, if you said just write me a ticket, why wouldn't you give them your ID?
Yeah,
and then the one of the officers accused her of kicking him. which then apparently it was found out that, oh, well, she didn't kick me, but she attempted to. But this lady is like kind of disabled. She has a really bad back. And they were like being really like when you see the video, you see an older lady being pushed face down with handcuffs behind her back on the ground.
I rewatched the video a couple times though, and they're not actually really like pushing her. Nobody's actually really touching her in the video. I don't think.
But she's face down, and it just looks really bad. And so
it does look really bad.
A lot of people said like, "Okay, this lady was being belligerent and blah blah blah," and maybe that's true. But like in my own just heart, like I just see. Like, I'm really respectful. If somebody tells me to leave because I don't have a mask, I just fucking leave, you know? Because, and it's weird because I've been to the pool several times and I have my mask exemption and I never wear it. Nobody even asks me to wear one. Like, literally, I walk in with the kids don't have masks on, and we go into the pool. So it was pretty weird. Like, I guess it really depends who's around and who's in charge, but like, nothing ever happened to me. And then I kind of was like, well, am I only getting away with it because the way I look? Like, do I just look a certain way and people don't confront me, which is really also unfair.
But it's
like,
also though, like when someone talks to you though, you have a very polite, pleasant voice too. I'm just going to say this, not just the way that you look, but it's the way you present yourself too. Like there's a big difference. Like I said to you earlier, like if you're talking like this and you're having a civil conversation, okay, yes, sir, I understand. Okay, no. Or if you're talking like this to them and you're getting in their face and I don't have to do this, 6 feet, get away from me. You know, there's a difference if you're being aggravated. And the thing of it is like, I would hate to be a peace officer or an RCMP officer right now because, yeah, they can take their power a little too freaking far and it's not cool. But also, can you imagine working and like dealing with these people all the time, getting in your face about it and trying to, you know, cause conflict? And two, on their end, like, yeah, you might say like, I have a disability, but if I got a disability and, you know, if you're and being like, sir, I have a disability, like if you're gonna like, you know, and I know obviously in those situations things are heightened, but like they're heightened because you created that heightened tension, you know, like if you would have just given them your ID, none of that would have happened. And two, like these people, like they don't know, like you could be lying too, right? Like they deal with the criminals all the time. Like that's their job. So their job is like, until you prove that you're innocent or prove that you're going to comply and, well, comply, but like if they ask for your ID, well, yeah, like just give it to them.
Like
don't cause a big stink about it.
Like
and then
take the ticket.
We all know that they fall apart in court anyways.
You don't have to pay them.
Yeah, you don't have to pay it. So just take the ticket. Don't cause a scene. And I mean, like, yeah, like it's sad that she's disabled and yeah, she was injured because of it. But I mean, like, how many people, and like they don't know if like people have drugs or if they're gonna, you know, pull a gun out, a knife, anything. Like their job, like they're just trying to, you know, do their job too. And like I said, there's obviously corrupt people out there, corrupt cops. Obviously we know there's a lot of corruption. But I mean, when there's lots of public around, like, and then too, like it goes both ways. So if they're just like, okay, well, you know, and just walk away, then what does that show to all the bystanders too? That you don't have to listen to the law.
And like, I get it, people. I know there's people that are gonna be like, well, that shouldn't even be a law. And we understand that. We totally fucking agree with you, but
it's a mandate right now. And
to a certain point, like you have to like show people respect, because people are just doing their jobs. People my mindset is a certain way because I've done a lot of research and I've experienced things. Other people might not have experienced those things. Other people are still so scared of people who don't wear masks, and you just have to like get in that like headspace. And I know you want to change their headspace because they shouldn't be afraid, but you have to understand that is their headspace.
And wherever we get our information from, they're getting the same information, feeding what they believe is true too.
Exactly.
So it's sad. It's really sad.
And something I learned yesterday that's super relevant right now is like, anger comes from fear. And people who are really angry when people don't wear masks, it's because they're so afraid of catching something, losing their, and like not having to work for 2 weeks, being locked, whether they want it, whether it's, yeah.
Like how many people can afford to take 2 weeks off work with, like, if you don't have holidays?
Right? Like, it's, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's sad.
Why? Okay. That's all. That was a good one.